And you're okay for your eulogy tribute? Yes, I have the eulogy, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so make sure this is room.
Okay. In seated, and then the front row is for all the immediate family here. Okay. So if you follow us in behind, we'll do that. All right. Thank you.
Not yet. Fresh air, actually.
You want to just slide over to my
Yeah. Okay.
This certainly is an occasion for sorrow. We come to pay our respects and to share our condolences. But I'm encouraging you right at the beginning of this service to make a choice, to turn this into a Thanksgiving service for a life well lived. Because we are thankful that Vera lived amongst us. We are thankful for the memories that she has given to us. We are thankful for the stories and the legacy that she has left behind. And it's in these few moments where we get an opportunity to say thank you. On behalf of Nigel, Angela, and Sue, I also want to say thank you to you for coming today. It means a tremendous amount to the family as we share together in these precious moments and fill our minds with the memories that we have of Vera. It's my privilege to start off with a short chronology of her life, which kind of gives you a potted history of the journey that she has taken. Vera was born on the 21st of October 1931 to Thomas and Ada in Bristol. She was the youngest of 4 children, although her elder sister died before she was born. She had 2 elder brothers, Len and Rob, who she loved very much. Unfortunately, her own mother died when Vera was a toddler. She was looked after by her father and his mother and sisters, and had a very happy childhood. She had many tales to tell of her aunts and many cousins and a large extended family who remained close to her for the rest of her life. She was an intelligent, hard-working girl who did well at school She especially loved English, a love which continued into adulthood as she constantly read literature and poetry whenever she had time. Despite suffering from tuberculosis, in her teenage years, excuse me, which resulted in her being hospitalized for several years, she regained her health, and life changed dramatically when she met the love of her life, the man who would become her beloved husband, Brian. They met at a dance, and it was love at first sight for both of them. They married in 1953 and had 3 much-loved children, Susan, Nigel, and Angela. Vera was an amazing wife and mother who always put her family first. That included her many cousins, aunts, and uncles. Indeed, although she loved her job as a doctor's receptionist in Fishponds Health Centre, the family was always the most important thing for her, and you could always rely on her to be there for you. She went on to have 7 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. The latest, Elijah, born just before she died, and is the photo on the front of the order of service. You can see from the look on her face just how delighted she was to meet him. What a fantastic picture that is. She took early retirement when Brian retired, and then went on to have many happy years holidaying both in the UK and abroad. This included trips to a family favourite, Lyme Regis, where they took many family holidays when their children were young. But she also went much further afield, including many trips to America to visit her son Nigel, who lives in New York. Unfortunately, Vera's health started to deteriorate as she grew older, and like many of her cousins, she underwent major heart surgery when in her late 70s. She spent many weeks in hospital after surgery, and despite a very worrying time for the whole family, she eventually recovered enough to return home. Although her health was never very good after that, however, she remained positive and never complained despite her health issues. She was looked after with love and dedication by Brian and her children, and went on to celebrate her 65th wedding anniversary in May 2018. What a fantastic achievement that is. She and Brian moved from their home in Blaisdell Road, where she had lived all their married life, Collier's Gardens, and sheltered accommodation, which she loved. Despite her increasing frailty, she very much depended and appreciated on the love and support she received from all of the staff there, as did the whole family. She will be very much missed by so many people, many of whom are here today. She requested that her funeral isn't too sad, although that's a hard request to fulfill, of course. But we hope you all remember her with love and a smile on her face. What a great chronology that is, and what a great legacy. Let's give her a round of applause. We're going to do that. 65 years together. What a great legacy that is. Well, in that context, we're going to offer a prayer of thanksgiving. So let's pray together, shall we? Let's pray. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who has blessed us with the gift of this earthly life, and has given Vera her span of years and gifts of character. God our Father, we thank you now for all her life, for every memory of love and joy, for every good deed done by her, and every sorrow shared with us. We thank you for her life and for her death. We thank you for the rest in Christ she now enjoys. We thank you for giving her to us. We thank you for the glory we share together. Hear our prayers. For Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Now it's my privilege to read from Matthew's Gospel, and I'm going to read the Beatitudes, which Vera read today. And what I want to suggest to you is, when you read it, you hear later on Nigel's tribute, that you will see many of these values encompassed in that tribute. There are values that we are lived by. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when they revile and persecute you, and say all kinds of evil things and falsely towards you. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. Fantastic values of it. But we're going to stand and sing our first hymn, but just before we do, the words are in the order of service. I like to say this at many services in which I attend. And that's simply this, that my dad sang with Max Boyce and some of the great characters. But unfortunately, his great voice skipped a generation. And my wife says to me that I'm the only man she knows who can change key 4 times in the same line. And so what I'm saying to you today is this part is over to you. And I'm asking you to sing and to sing heartily in Vera's memory. So let's stand and sing together.
As a young girl, Ran was encouraged by her dad to memorise poems, and she knew lots of them. Throughout my life, I remember that if anyone was going through a challenging time or needed some advice about how to deal with the situation, Rag could always summon some wise, thought-provoking words that would provide reassurance that things would be all right in the end. This is one of the first poems Ran learned by heart, and she could recite it perfectly throughout her entire life. The poet who wrote it was longing to get away from the hustle and bustle of London to a favourite spot in Ireland, but it had a broader meaning for Ran, the yearning for peace and rest. The Lake Isle of Innisfree by W.E. Yeats. I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and what was made. 9 green rooms I will have there, a hive for the honeybee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the veils of the morning to where the cricket sings. There have been nights all a glimmer and noon a purple glow, and an evening full of the linnet's breeze. I will arise and go now, for always night and day, I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. While I stand on the roadway, or on the pavement's grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core.
What a great poem that is. What a great tune. To share. Well, I'm going to invite Nigel to come, and he's going to share his views.
Glancing in my diary the day the Mum died, I noticed that I had a pre-printed reminder against the date. It read, "Summer begins." Didn't feel at all like summer that day to me, but I know that this is the feeling that Mum would want us to have whenever we think of her. Mum's always been so fully present in our lives, and I'm sure she's never been that far from my thoughts. Even the little things that would happen in my day down through the years would bring her immediately to mind. Whenever I saw a banana, I would recall how she'd say that she liked them, but they didn't like her. I guess they gave her indigestion or something. How dare they? How dare they? I'm going to find it very difficult to be civil to any bananas that cross my path in the future. Mum hated escalators, but bored them with great trepidation when she had to. I've never been able to step onto one without thinking of her escalophobia. And yes, there is such a word. Yes, I had to look that up. Mum was always very interested in politics and current affairs, and loved to listen to spirited debates by articulate speakers, such as during BBC Question Time. We had many late-night discussions about politics and current events, and my own views were always better informed by hers. Mum liked to keep a tidy house, but she was not fanatical about it. She found the right balance so that things were always neat and well organised, while still being relaxed and livable. Alas, I didn't inherit this particular gene from her. And I can still hear her telling me, to no avail, "Don't put it down, put it away." I still struggle with that one. My sisters were fortunate enough to inherit Mum's tidy gene. Not fair, is it? Although quite infirm in her later years, Mum remained a prolific knitter. She even knitted in hospital right after her open heart surgery. And several here today were bestowed with the great honour of being awarded Mum's Order of Revolving Scarf. You know who you are. Mum was wise and had many philosophies about life that I never tired of hearing about. She was very well read, and so her wisdom didn't always need to be of her own making. She was always free with quoting the wisdom of others, as well as voicing her own strongly held opinions. She was particularly interested in sharing her views on childbearing. One of her favourite anecdotes concerning the normal perspective held by teens, particularly, that their parents are stupid and out of touch. I certainly recall thinking this when I was at that privileged age, when I still knew everything. I remember Mum sharing with me a quote courtesy of Mark Twain. "When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much he'd learned in 7 years." It was only when I became a parent myself that I could see just how smart and wise my mum and my dad were. It's perhaps the bravest and hardest act of all to allow children the freedom to decide who they want to be, and Mum and Dad, of course, did that instinctively. They encouraged us to fly the nest and find our lives, no matter where it might take us. Despite, in my case, the geographic distance between Mum and I, we could not live closer. Mum always made me feel secure, and I knew I could count on her full support, even if I was weighing a decision that she wasn't terribly comfortable with me taking. Knowing she always had my back allowed me to get comfortable with risk-taking, and has allowed me to take the journey through life that I needed to take. I know my sisters and our entire families were equal beneficiaries of her special kind of unconditional love. Last year, during one of our walks through Basels, Mum and I stopped at a favourite bench, and we looked out at the splendour of the trees in full colour on the green opposite. We sat for a moment, taking it all in, and I posed one of the many existential questions I'd asked her in recent years. I asked her what suggestions I might share with my own children about living their lives. Without hesitation, she'd be polite, be kind, be nice to people. I'm sure no one would be surprised by her answer, since it was the perfect expression of who she was. Ever the peacemaker, Mum had an agreement with Dad to never go to sleep on an argument. No matter what, they would always close the day by telling each other, I love you. I have many recordings of conversations I had with Mum. Our chats were often about the problems of the world and discussing ideas about how to fix them. I was always eager to hear Mum's perspective on things, and these discussions helped to shape and guide me through many perplexing issues. I will always be grateful to her for taking the trouble to stay fully engaged with me in this way. Aside from the wonderful insights she shared and the laughter we shared together, I noticed something which hadn't occurred to me at the time I'd made these recordings. I found that when I was talking with Mum, I could hear how she brought out the best in me. And I think I was probably the best version of myself in those moments. She just had a way of doing that, and I had the feeling she brought out the best in all of us when we were in her company. I still have no idea how she did this, but it was yet another remarkable quality that she had. One time, Mum and I were sat in the front room of the old house late in the evening, and we found ourselves sharing our views on the topic of money. Speaking as one who has very little talent for making it, but an absolute genius for spending it, I was interested to know her views on the subject. I remember her saying, we never had much money, but we always had a holiday every year. And what holidays they were. Our summer holidays to Lyme were my happiest childhood memories, a time of unbridled joy in the safe and loving world that my parents had created for us. Of course, the journey to Lyme in our clunky old cars was long and arduous in those days. It took most of the day to get there, due in part to me having to stop multiple times en route to throw up over a hedge. I don't know if it was all walking up and down the hill at Lyme or our countless walks down Basels, but somehow we all got bitten by the walking bug. I know at times of trouble, Mum said that she and Dad would often walk the streets together at night while turning things over. Those walks were obviously very successful because all I can say is as a child, I was never aware of any insurmountable problems in our home. No matter that, as Mum put it, we never had any money. We had a wealth that money can't buy. Returning to the conversation Mum and I had about money for a moment, I recall that Auntie Dore come into our conversation as a person who was, as Mum put it, generous to a fault. And Mum talked adoringly about the way Auntie Dore would go on holiday on the rent and find a way to pay the rent later. What's that saying? Take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. This idea was also immortalised by Mum in the tapestry she wove that greeted guests who came to their home. It placed over it. It read, today is the tomorrow you were about yesterday. Although Mum didn't sail so close to the wind as our beloved Auntie Dore, she admitted to me, money means absolutely nothing to me. And she continued, if you've got friends and people that love you, that's all that matters. And it's all of you and your families and a few people who couldn't make it today that we were all aware of. That was her earthly wishes. Mum was always ready to see the funny side of things, such as the time she attempted to rid the garden of slugs by putting out a dish of beer. I guess slugs don't like beer. Anyway, hedgehogs like slugs, and one hapless little hawk showed up in the garden looking for them, but found the beer instead. I remember Mum chuckling as she described finding this little hedgehog staggering all over the place in a drunken stupor before it lay down to sleep it off. I suffered a few hedgehog events of my own in formative years, and Mum never gave me a hard time about it either. When we were small, we were vaccinated against various diseases. My only mildly pleasant one that I remember being the polio vaccine, which was delivered in a small sugar cube. I think I can recall piping up in my little voice, "Mummy, can I have one more of those, please?" Of all the inoculations received, Mum carefully and lovingly administered the most potent and life-affirming one of all. She inoculated us against any suggestion that we were not important or worthy of love. And we knew that this protection she had lovingly put in place could always be relied upon, no matter what. And if we ever forgot it for a moment, she would be there to remind us. Mum's own mother died when Mum was 2, so she never really knew her at all. And his ID, Elsie, Clark, Hilda, Dawn, and her gran all ran around with the additional support of Mum's cousins Janet and Dorothy. And they did a magnificent job of showing her how to become a mother herself one day. Yet Mum always lamented not having known her own mother. As a Christian, Mum looked to be reunited with her mum when her time was up. And I believe she was unafraid in the end. Because she felt her lifelong yearning was about to be answered with this tantalizing prospect. Although her body was failing her in recent years, such was her courage and generosity that she was never resentful or bitter. Instead, she was always patient, always kind, always grateful, and always accepting of her situation. Mum was ever the peacemaker, ever the calming and loving presence, who always put everyone else first, and often at her own expense. It was so much more than what she did, it was the way she did it. Mum was a person of grace, and she honoured us all with her presence.
That's fantastic. I think we should give that a round. Very good suggestion. Terrific. That was. And you see what I mean about some of the Beatitudes. This is encapsulated in what has been said. Well, we want to give you an opportunity to reflect on your memories and the lessons that you've learned and the wisdom that has been shared with you. And so we're going to play Supermarket Flowers by Ed Sheeran. So please just take a few moments. If you want to silently pray, feel free to do so. But let's reflect on the memories that we have.
I took the supermarket flowers from the windowsill. Threw the day old tea from the cup. Packed up the photo album Matthew had made. Memories of a life that's been loved. Took the Garrett Wells suit cars and stuffed animals. Pulled the old ginger beer down the sink. Dad always told me, don't you cry when you're down. But Mom, there's a tear every time that I blink. Oh, I'm in pieces, it's tearing me up. But I know a heart that's broke is a heart that's been loved. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mom. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go. When God takes you back, He'll say hallelujah, you're home. Flops the pillows, made the bed, stacked the chairs up, folded your nightgowns neatly in a case. John said he'd drive, then put his hand on my cheek and wiped a tear from the side of my face. And I hope that I see the world as you did, 'cause I know a life with love is a life that's been lived. So I'll sing hallelujah.
did so well on the last thing, and we believe you're going to do even better this time. So we're going to sing Love Divine or Love's Excelling. The words again are in your order of service. So please let's stand together and sing.